to Daddy SOS. I'm Belinda.
I'm 𝐻𝐿𝐶𝐼. Today we have Miss Heather with us at Oxford Brookes University. Miss Heather,
Hi,
can you
Mr.
please
Heather.
Hello.
can you please introduce yourself and describe your role in university?
Yes, so my name is Heather Woodruff. I am the manager for a team that's called the WAVES team at Oxford Brookes University Business School. So we are faculty based in the business school, and WAVES stands for Work and Voluntary Experience Services. So I have a small team who works for me, and we look after students who would like to do a work placement as part of their program of study or undertake an internship or other kind of work experience.
See, what kind of support WAVE team will support to the students?
Like, can you just briefly introduce the process, how students come, and what kind of support will be provided?
Yes, so we offer a work placement option in all of our undergraduate programs of study in the business school, and we also cover all of the hospitality courses as well. So we look after those students on those courses, and we also offer a work placement year in most of our postgraduate programs of study. So a student may take up a work placement as an optional module on their program, and that involves a year where they work for a company or an employer of their choice. It's not a guaranteed placement, so it is very much the case that the student must secure the placement themselves, but we support the students in finding and securing the opportunities. So we help them prepare to get through the recruitment processes, and we work hand in hand with our careers service on campus to help students understand and navigate all of the processes that they must go through to secure a role working for a company.
I see. So the process will start with how to teach students how to build their CV. Is it included also?
Yes, primarily the CV document is the first point of call for most of our employers. That is what they expect our students to apply with. So we work with our students to help them develop a document that is specific to the UK recruitment market and that they can use to apply for any placement opportunity that they seek to apply for.
Do you have any tips of writing a very attractive CV for the employers so they can, the first sight they're attracted by this candidates? Do you have any tips?
Like the CV have to be with design, or just a normal Word document should be okay?
Maybe 3 pages or 5 pages or only 1 pages?
So my recommendation for students wanting to create a strong CV that is appropriate for our UK employers is that they keep it to 1 to 2 pages maximum. There are a variety of different templates that we can advertise that our students may want to use, and they can access those through our career services here on campus, and they tailor their work experience, their skills and their experience, along with their educational background, including the degree that they're currently studying, so that they can display that to our employers. And we use a variety of different tools. So we also have some AI tools that students may use to create suitable documents to apply for, and we go through how to use those tools properly so that they can create the documents that our employers are wanting to see.
So everything with how to say, because you're also using AI, so everything now is going AI technology, talking something. It's very convenient to create a CV now actually, is it?
Yes, so Oxford Brookes University has embraced AI technology, and that we use certain tools, CV 360, Interview 360, some of those tools we have adopted to help students use them to generate documents that they can use to apply for not only placement positions, but graduate jobs and any type of job that they wish to undertake in the UK.
Is there any common mistake that students made when they prepare their CV? Maybe too fancy or too much of photos?
So there are a couple of guidelines that we suggest for students creating their CV in a UK format. Generally, photographs are not suitable to be included on a CV for the
really?
UK. Yes, personal information, anything like marital status or gender or anything like that. We don't generally advise candidates to put that on their CV, as recruiters in the UK will operate, for the most part, a fair recruitment process and will not want to see personal details on
I
the
see.
document.
that's
So
very
normally I
great.
don't want to know you are female or male. I just
That's-
it's okay with your name, so everything is
Yes.
okay. I see.
Oh, it's much very different in Malaysia.
Yes.
Malaysia will include
Have to be-
photo,
yeah.
and then not until marital status, but we
but
need
at least your photo is there.
maybe
Yes.
birthday, age.
It's very different.
Wow,
with
very
There
much
is some
difference.
variance between job sectors and types of roles that you're applying for. So, for instance, some of our students on our marketing courses who are applying for creative design roles will sometimes use a CV template that is more design focused and less of a just structured document. It's more of a creative document. So it really does depend on the sector they're applying to, the type of roles, and what those recruiters would welcome in terms of format of CV.
So before you create your CV, better to do some homework or survey that what kind of is there any template for the CV that do some research.
There are a variety of templates that we make available to our students, and that is through our Career Service Resources portal. All of the students who are on a program of study at Oxford Brookes University have access to that resource of templates, and they can choose the ones that are relevant to them for the sector and the roles they're applying to.
Do they need to pay for this service?
No, this is all part of what you get as a student at Oxford Brookes University. Once you're an enrolled student on a course, you have access to the entire Career Service Resources portal and also the services of the Career Services team, who can meet with students to do CV checks, to do practice interviews, and they also run a variety of skills workshops.
Is there any expiry date? Maybe I have graduated after 5 years and I need more career path advisors. Can I come back again to
But this service
team?
is only for placement or also for the permanent job?
No, this is the Career Service provides assistance to all students regardless of the opportunities that they're seeking. That could be a placement position, a shorter internship, a part-time job, a volunteering role. It is the whole range of employment opportunities that students are seeking, either while they're studying, alongside their study, or in the summer, or as a placement, or as a graduate for their graduate careers. So the Career Service can support all of that activity that students want to undertake.
Usually, how early that you recommend students to apply for their placement? How early should they start to apply for the job?
So our employers who offer roles to business school students will start recruiting almost up to a year in advance of the placement opportunity taking place. So they do start early, particularly if students are interested in big brand name companies, the blue chip organizations. They are the ones that will start the earliest with their recruitment processes, followed by smaller organizations who may start a bit later in the process because they have less stages to put the applicants through. So it really does depend on the size of the business, the brand that the students are wanting to apply to, the number of procedures that the company has to get through, and the number of applicants they get.
But like the postgraduate degree, right? Some students will come with, like international students, they will apply for coursework and additional placement year, right? So means like when they start their studies, they have to apply for the placement already, is it?
Yes, students who enroll on a postgraduate program of study in the business school come on a 1 or 2 year program. 2 year program would be if that included a placement year. So yes, it is less time to prepare for going on placement than our undergraduate students who have 2 years of study before they go out on the placement year. So what we do to prepare students, whether they're undergraduate or postgraduate, is that we work with them up to a year before they intend to go on placement to start preparing them for entering the world of work. We do skills workshops with them, try and get them to look at their CV documents, do a practice interview, understand how the recruitment market works, and then we also support them in signposting them to available opportunities, either our employers who want to recruit them directly or to available websites where they can search for available opportunities.
Speaking about practice interview, what is the common question, or how it goes with the interviews in UK? For example, in Malaysia, they will ask, what is your weakness? What is your strength? Is it similar?
So students who undergo interviews for placement roles or even graduate roles will generally undertake a series of questions with the recruiter, and that can include what we call competency questions, in which they may ask you about certain skills that you may have developed either through work experience or through your program of study. And they will ask you to demonstrate those skills with some examples. So that is something that we coach students on. There are a variety of different methods for coaching students through competency questions. One of them is called the STAR method, and that is situation, task, action, result. So that is just one of many tools that we use to try and coach students into how to answer competency questions.
I'm quite curious about because it's mainly focused on the placement, right? Do you already will predict that this company probably will ask for this question? Is it anything like this?
Generally, we don't know the extent of the practices that a company will use unless we have a very, very in-depth relationship with that employer. That is the case with some of our employers. They work with us very closely in recruiting our students, and they tell us a little bit about their recruitment procedures. Other companies do not. But generally, overall, we have a good understanding of the type of procedures that employers may or may not use. So, for instance, some of our employers will prefer to do video interviews, and that's something we can prepare our students to encounter if that is part of the process. So what we do is just prepare students for all eventualities, and we offer skills sessions and preparation guidance that will get them through a variety of different recruitment procedures, whatever the company decides to use.
Normally, how many rounds of interviews students need to go through? Because some of the companies will request for 3 rounds of interviews or only 1 round.
So students applying to roles within the business sector would expect to go through several different stages, perhaps, in the interview and the recruitment process. It really does depend on the size of the company, how many applicants they get, whether they're a very big, well-known brand name, in which case they might have so many applicants that they must put them through many procedures to select. But then the smaller organizations who may be only recruiting 1 or 2 employees may have fewer processes that they put them through. So it really does depend on the size of the organization.
I see. Is there any company they really want the students from Oxford Brookes University, or they really work very close to this university
to guarantee their position in their company?
I think can't say guarantee because there's no guarantee job, right? Is there any significantly they really want the students from Oxford Brookes?
So Oxford Brookes Business School work with all sorts of employers, right from the big brand names like BMW, IBM, Microsoft. Honestly, our students can go anywhere they want to go. It's a matter of demonstrating how much skills and experience they can offer to the employer that they're applying to. And we cultivate relationships with a variety of different employers. So my team will look after maintaining employer relationships with 1,000+ organizations across any particular year. And it's just a case of preparing our students to access those opportunities. So they could literally do a placement or undertake a graduate job in the UK, or even worldwide. We place students in countries all over the globe, and we work with lots of students who would like to do a placement, for instance, in their home country, or they want to go abroad and do a placement in another country that is aligned to what they've studied. So, for instance, we have students on an international business management program who like to get global experience. So we do have quite a lot of students who decide to go overseas and do a placement year.
Students will, after their graduation, usually they will go back to their home country, or they'll remain in UK for the job opportunities.
So many of our international students do decide to come here to study in the UK and then return to their home country afterwards, after they finish their degree. But many of our other international students come and study in the UK and then take the opportunity of obtaining work experience either through a placement year as part of their program, or indeed the graduate visa route, which is now available to students who complete a program of study at a higher education institution, and that enables them to undertake up to 2 more years of work experience after they finish their degree in the UK.
Okay, some international students after graduate, they might go back to their home country maybe for a rest for a year or half year, and will it make them more difficult to apply job in UK after that? We would encourage them to go back for a rest and come back again.
Well, it depends what the students' aspirations are in regards to obtaining work experience in the UK. The graduate visa route is only available for students to apply to after they finish their degree and before their student visa expires. So they must do that relatively quickly if they intend to take up that route. There are other visa routes that students or international workers can take advantage of, and that may be that they can take those up at a later date.
If the postgraduate degree with placement year, right, then the student visa will be 2 years, right? The duration will be 2 years, included their placement year.
If a student chooses to undertake a postgraduate program of study at the business school here at Oxford Brookes, and they want to do a placement year, then yes, that is a 2-year course, 1 year for doing their program of study, and then 1 year for doing the placement year.
I see.
Is there any minimum wages in UK? Like in Malaysia, we have minimum wages like
By law. It's by law.
1,005 or
Something.
1,005 or 1,008. Is there any law in UK of minimum wages?
So one of the benefits of students undertaking a placement year in the business school at Oxford Brookes is that we don't approve any unpaid placements.
Mm-hmm.
All of our students undertake a placement opportunity that is a paid role. And what we advertise to employers is that they should be offering UK minimum wage or living wage. So that is dependent on the age of the applicant, of the employee. So yes, we do encourage our employers offering placement opportunities to offer at least minimum wage or living wage in the UK.
Oh, it is counted by monthly or weekly or by hour? Paid by hour or?
So UK minimum wage is a certain rate per hour,
Okay.
but it's in different brackets as according to the age of the employee.
As the next intake for UK is January, right? Is there any placement offer for some
January
specific
intake
course
students?
to the January intake students?
So for our postgraduate students enrolling on a program of study within the business school for January 2025, we are offering a postgraduate placement option in all of our hospitality and events management courses, as well as all of our marketing courses. So yes.
Okay. So the placement is optional. So means like they will go for their placement during their studies.
Yes, if students wish to undertake a placement year as part of their program of study, that will be within their program.
Okay. Just now we went to the cafe to buy some food. Then we noted that the staff actually is the students.
The staff.
The staffs
Yes.
are the students. So then we heard that it's from hospitality courses, is it? So is it like they can choose their placement within the campus?
Yes, we have plenty of our students who choose to take up a placement option working for Oxford Brookes University. So it is the case that our university will employ some of our students and give them a placement year or work experience. That is entirely possible. Particularly for our hospitality management students, either undergraduate or postgraduate, they may choose to undertake work within the university. We've also had some marketing students obtain roles within the university, so that is definitely possible.
It sounds very cool, you know, you study here,
And then
you work here. Yeah.
Is there any other benefits if they take their placement within the campus? Is there any benefits?
So we have many students who choose to remain in Oxford or close to Oxford to do their placement year, and that's simply because they wish to remain in their accommodation or they are not able to relocate for whatever reason, and they choose to stay local. So we do facilitate many relationships with local employers, organisations who can employ our students, the university being one of them, but also other businesses around Oxford and Oxfordshire that will employ our students and that they don't have to relocate for a placement year.
So it's very recommend students who really want to stay at Oxford, then they come here to study and then use the partnership of Oxford Brookes to remain in Oxford. Is it like this? Can be said like this, right?
Yes, absolutely. A student can choose to remain in Oxford to do a placement year if they wish to, or they can relocate to another location if they choose.
I think probably students will remain at here. So usually a lot of students, they really want to go for like the big company, the very huge one, organization, institutions. Do you recommend that students always go with these ideals? Or is there any actually small companies, small institutions also have their benefits?
Yes, so within the business school, we cultivate relationships with a variety of employers, right from the big brand name companies down to the smaller SMEs. And it just depends on what the aspirations of the student are, what the skills and experience they might have to offer are, and what organisations they may be able to access opportunities at. But I certainly would encourage students to investigate the whole range of opportunities available. So for instance, our business students may like to go and work in a small design agency, or they may want to go for the big brand named companies such as Microsoft, IBM, BMW. It just really depends on what they have to offer. What I would say is that there is plenty of competition in the big companies, so it is very difficult. They have few opportunities for many applicants. So what we try to do is sensitize our students to the merits of taking up an opportunity at a smaller company where they can get just as good of a UK work experience and obtain the benefit of working while they're in the UK doing their study.
Because big company, and a lot of people think big company will make my CV more prettier, more nice.
Yeah, more attractive.
But actually, small company will let you
Learn
gain
more.
a lot of skills, in terms of soft skills. We're talking about this lah. So that's always come with good and bad way. How do you
Yes, and that is part of the process that we take our students through, the thinking process between weighing up the pros and cons of going for a big business versus a small company, going through the thinking process about where they want to be in terms of location, matching up their skills with positions that they may be suitable for in terms of their personality or their career aspirations. So myself and my team in the business school, we work with the business school students and the hospitality students, but certainly our careers team can work with students across all programs and help them to match up to the opportunities that are suitable for them.
Okay, before we end, do you have any advice for the students who coming up to take this placement?
My advice would be for students to obtain work experience in whatever form that they can obtain it in the UK. If they are determined to do a placement year, then we can facilitate that as part of their program of study. If, for instance, they would like to do something in terms of a shorter work experience, we have many other opportunities both within our courses and alongside our courses for students to obtain that work experience or experiential learning, as we like to call it. And that might be things like a client project, it might be a part-time job. So all of these experiences, whether they're placements, whether they're other types of work experience, are going to add valuable skills to our students' employability and graduate job prospects.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for your time, Ms. Heather. If you have any further question, you can leave the comment below. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Okay.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Say bye to this camera. Bye.
Goodbye, everyone.